Everybody, were the critics wrong? Is Michael actually a goated movie? I'm the only critic you should be listening to, and I think this movie was absolute cinema. No, but seriously, form your own opinions. You don't need to listen to anybody. This just proves that critics don't really agree with audience members, and I get it. Critics have a different criteria to audience members, and this movie is just too mind-blowingly awesome to comprehend. Jafar Jackson, let's talk about him. Michael Jackson's actual nephew. He's insane in this movie. All of the, like, little Michael, he's insane, right? Jackson 5. Jafar is insane. He puts on the voice, the Michael voice, the soft voice. They change his appearance as Michael did. Michael got a few nose jobs because his dad was calling him Big Nose, which is shockingly bad. But everything from Jafar's voice to Jafar's dance moves, like, he has got it down to a T. I thought, oh my god, the spirit of your uncle is in you. You are Michael. Like, I didn't really see Jafar. There's some biopics, if they don't cast it right or something, you're like, I still see the actor. I just saw Michael Jackson. That's crazy. That's bonkers. I just saw Michael Jackson. I thought Jafar was absolutely brilliant. From start to finish, he was the highlight. Another highlight I really want to talk about, and the whole core of this movie. Core, not in a good way, but Coleman Domingo as Joseph Jackson. He is the main theme of this movie. So this movie takes place basically Jackson 5, so when Michael was little, all the way up to about 1988. And Joe Jackson is basically the villain of this film. This film is not afraid to get heavy. They don't even shy away from it. We see Michael getting beaten. He's screaming, the other brothers are looking on in disbelief. And while you don't know if you could have sympathy for Michael in later years, child Michael, you have a lot of sympathy for. I felt so bad for little Michael. And it kind of shows how abusive Joe Jackson was, how awful he was to them. He didn't let them call him dad. They had to call him Joseph, I believe. So it just showed the family dynamic in a really realistic way. And I didn't know if this film was going to be realistic, and I didn't know if it would stretch the truth or try and hide certain things. But I can't speak for what part 2 is going to do, because that's going to be more interesting with all of those controversies. But part 1, it gets real, and I respect that. Because Michael Jackson as an image is something unworldly, unreal. Like, there's Miles Teller's character, I can't remember his name, which is really bad because it's a real person, but he says, Michael goes, how can you make me the greatest artist in the world? And Miles Teller goes, because I think there's no one like you, and there will never again be anyone like you. And that is so true. And even like the directing, the camera angles, when Michael's performing, you get a few shots where you look out to the audience, there's millions of fans there. And you really go, whoa, how must that have felt? This is awesome. And because of the camera shots and the cinematography, you are immersed in all of these live performances. You are there. I forgot I was in a cinema. I thought I was in the crowd watching Michael break out Billie Jean live, doing the moonwalk for the first time. I was there. I was getting hyped. Also, with Michael Jackson's songs, the biopic was always going to get this positive off me, this positive feeling, because Michael Jackson's music is awesome. So when the music's going on, I was moving, I was tapping my feet, I was tapping my chest. Shamon! This film was so cool. It was just so cool to watch. It's kind of hard to give characters who are real people like a character arc, if you know what I mean. But I think Michael does have a character arc in that his character is, and it concludes by the end of the film when he says the victory tour, this is our final leg of the tour, this is our final show. He concludes his arc. He basically gets out of the grasp of his father. He breaks away and he gets out of this abusive relationship. Michael, part 1, they're not calling it part 1, but it's part 1, is an abuse story, right? And it's escaping from an abusive relationship. And so, yeah, I think Michael Jackson does have a character arc in this, which is good. And I can't believe I'm saying that a real person would have a character arc, but this is probably what the critics were thinking, and they were probably thinking, oh, well, the character arc wasn't very complex and very gripping, so we're going to score this a bit lower. But from an audience member like me and a fan perspective, I like it. I like that arc, and again, like I keep saying, you can't give arcs to real life people, because that's their life. You're just portraying their life. Pepsi commercial, come on. That was so sad, and Jafar did that so well, and when his hair got burned, and you really, this film, because Michael Jackson died in 2009, I was one, because I wasn't around during the Michael Jackson hype, you watch this film, and you watch, when Michael's out in public, and when he jumps on the car, the film shows you how many people loved Michael Jackson. It's crazy. Michael Jackson's fame, unless you see it visually like you do here, it's impossible to comprehend. And even when you do see it on screen, it's still impossible to comprehend. I couldn't believe how many fans I was seeing in that moment. I couldn't believe how many people idolized this man. I was just in awe and wonder. Let's talk about the music. Let's really talk about it. They recreate Thriller. It was so awesome. And what I loved is that they do the same camera angles in the music video. I was getting chills. They show how Michael did the dance moves for Beat It, and I was like, oh my god, this is so tough. And then they did the Beat It dance moves. I was, yes, go Michael, go everybody, go, go Beat It. Maybe, I think, I would have liked, I know it's a Michael Jackson biopic, so you got to focus on Michael. I would have liked more of the actual, Jackson brothers in there, and kind of what they thought about Michael, because I think some of them, I don't know, I've never met them, but some of them maybe might have been jealous or maybe might have been concerned. I really want to know what they thought. I would have liked more of the sisters as well, LaToya. I would like more of the family aspect of it. But this film, I mean, it went like that. I thought, oh, we're finished. No, don't end it now. No. They end it bad. And it's like, they say, his story continues. And I thought, oh, part two's been confirmed. I think they filmed it. So literally, we could be seeing part two next year if they just do a few reshoots. But yeah, things like, I know it's his life, so it's great setup. But things like he didn't want to take the medication for his hair. And then, obviously, later in life, he got addicted to painkillers. So that was the start of that. And I don't see why critics didn't like it. And Coleman Domingo, again, I keep going back, but he is the core of this movie. And he is so, so good as Joe Jackson. I would not be surprised if he gets Best Supporting Actor Oscar at next Oscars, because he is so good in this. When Michael says this is the last leg of the tour, he says it live, so he basically doesn't get whipped, right? But the camera zooms in on Joe, and Michael's like, this is the last tour. I'd like to thank the fans, but this is it for the Jacksons. And the beat drops, and they zoom in on Coleman's face as Joe Jackson, and his mouth is open wide, and you're like, oh my god. And he's so unpredictable that you're like, what's going to happen to Michael? What is Joe Jackson going to do when Michael gets off that stage? So tough. This movie is brilliant. It's a great movie. Go watch it, and people are going to watch it. All of these screenings were booked out. My screening was full. This movie is going to make bank. Guys, what do you think about the Michael Jackson biopic, part 1? I can say that now, part 1. Movie, are you excited for part 2? I'm kind of not, because as he got later into life, his life kind of started to get worse. This film ends at his peak. It ends at his pinnacle. He is on top of the world. Part 2, he goes downhill. But, guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Bow! Shambone!